It's really wonderful. I love the people are very engaged, and not only they're engaged, I feel that they kind of want business. You know, they want to really get something, and they have the kind of motivation that is great, because it's like in jazz. You know, you can't do jazz by just being one of the band doing their job and the rest are just zombies watching TV. It doesn't work. So I saw, even after the event, after my presentation, I would say my experience, because I didn't want to be like an academic presentation. People came and asked very good questions, and they opened up about their business and their struggles, and trying to use what they got, and that's very, very encouraging that it's happening. So until a few years ago, I was living under the notion that all entrepreneurs had done strategy, like a rational, going through a rational process and having an actual strategy product. And to my amazement, I woke up to realize that they didn't. So they had that, it's called the hunch. I have a hunch, I have the gut feeling. I know it's like this. I feel it's like this. It has to be like this. So really, it's all either imitation. You know, there's some things I like and I pick up and I take, and there are things I don't like, I don't take. There are some things that I make better than the other. And then maybe I listen to my customers, you know, the annoying customer feedback. Oh my God, they don't deserve us. We give them these features and this and that, and it's not enough, and they don't know how to use it. And you know, we have that big button in the front, in the center. It's clear that they should press it, and what do? They avoid it, all of them. Okay, so what's lacking, definitely lacking, is a kind of, I don't want to say school, but a place where you can learn how to design, how to architect value. There's just no other way to put it. Because if the owner, if the entrepreneur doesn't have a strategy that is by design, then it's designed by somebody else. And the question is, how do you get the entrepreneur, the founder or the co-founder, to be a designer? How do you get the product manager to design products and services for value? How do you create the whole team who should be doing this kind of work? The architects of innovation in a company, which is really the R&D that should be. It doesn't, when I say R&D, it doesn't mean there has to be an MIT lab. No, it's a function of exploring the market, of creating, experimenting, of really paying attention to what push people away from a product or a service, and what keeps people away from adopting it. I mean, if you don't do this, and what, I hide behind market research. I just pay a company to do a market research, I get some pretty PowerPoints and stats and hundreds of interviews that are totally useless. And I say that because I've been there. Market really clarifies everything. Market is like the pregnancy test. If the product has value, the market will react accordingly. If the product doesn't really bring value, the market will react accordingly. So the market eventually will show you that nobody's calling, nobody's buying, nobody's sending email, hey, something is wrong here. But when you ask yourself these fundamental questions about the DNA of your offering, it's too late. When you say, oops, we made an error, it's like you build a house and then you discover, oh, the ceiling is too low. What do? Well, you have to demolish the whole damn house and build a new one. And then you discover, oh, but we don't have any, oh wow, we don't have any outlets, any plugins, what do? Okay, then we don't have this, we don't have that. I mean, these are the architecture type of questions that for architects are obvious. So we don't have the architect mindset in everything that we do, from strategy to product development to products to selling to customer service to the whole buyer experience cycle, from from acquisition till the end, when things end and you discard the product. So this is a huge missing, and it has to happen. So, I mean, until we do that, we'll be left with becoming a Pareto at Pareto. Because if you look at the IT industry, you'll see that 3% of the almost 20,000 companies make almost close to 48% of the total revenue and almost 60% of the total profit. So this is like a monopole by a Pareto to Pareto fraction from the whole. And the question is, what business are the other ones in? And they're in the business of passionate and entrepreneurial, entrepreneurship, meaning I love what I do. I don't care if I make money. I don't care if I make a lot of money, as long as I can cover things from somewhere else for in some other ways. I do what I love to do, and that's enough. That is what saves us. Because the moment the entrepreneurs wake up and say, wait, I'm an NGO, I should be actually a corporation. I'm an NGO with a corporation legal statute. But, and I'm not saying this arrogantly or judgmentally, it's just a fact. We don't have, it's like everybody wants to build memorable buildings, but we don't have a school of architecture. Well, some are talented. Some people, there is talent. We can't discard talent. But what about the rest of us who are not so talented? What about us? But we have brains, we have hearts, we have eyes, we have, we can explore, we are curious, we want to do good, we want to create something that makes a difference in people's lives. What do we do? Where do we go? You start with a passion. Then you get down and dirty into doing the business and get into the operations of the business. And if you didn't have the right strategy and the right product and the right fit of the product with the market, and you don't have the market, if, it's just like an orchestra. For an orchestra to be great, it has to have a great repertoire, a great conductor, and great performers, and a great auditorium where it's played, the concert hall. If one of these is not great, forget about great something result for the business. So basically to recapture the passion that the entrepreneur had, has to be able to design strategies for growth that others can implement and execute, and co-create them with the people who are actually, that's ideal, to co-create it with the people who are going to execute it. But they have to know how to design and how to architect strategies, growth strategies. And it is work. It is not like Viagra for strategy. There is no Viagra for strategy. I actually tried to give it today in 20 minutes, but it's just like that. It's a very short time. This is a process. It is about the value, the utility that the product or service brings to the market. And if the utility is so alien and foreign to the markets, guess what? The markets are not going to understand it, they're not going to buy it. So you have to be able to explain your utility in such a simple form so that you have the unique value proposition, which is what your market is getting, which is different than your selling proposition, which is what you sell. Ideally, they should converge, but guess what? They don't. Most often than not, the unique selling proposition focuses on what I can do for you, and unique value proposition is what you are getting from me. And it sounds like, oh, but it's kind of the same. No, it's like worlds apart. Okay, so since we deal with value, like the value is what? Value is productivity. Like I can do things which I couldn't do before. Like now you can do with a video camera that doesn't use film, things that you couldn't do before. Like I don't worry about having the camera on for hours. I don't care to make mistakes. The folks on the camera don't have it like, this is the shot. If it doesn't go right now, it's done. The whole movie, it's trashed, it's finished. No, everybody's relaxed. Oh, take 1, take 2, take 3, take 7, take 100, doesn't matter. So value is always So productivity is a big thing in value. To be able to do faster, cheaper, better, more is productivity. Then you need to be able to take away the hassle of complexity. So if it's very complex, if I want to create, to create strategy, the process for creating strategy, there are billions of entries in Google to how to do it, and the various, and you have PowerPoints and Excels, and so to reduce this complexity, to make it simple, but not simplistic, that's very important. The next thing is to make it convenient. So that's a value. That's a value that if you manage to give people access, easy access to your product or service or to what they do, okay? Like having things having things on the phone, being able to do everything on your phone, because it's very convenient because the phone is always with you. So if I can do everything on the phone, you made a very convenient product and service for me, like the online shopping or the online search for information. That's convenience. Then, if you manage to lower the risk, that's a value that people get. It's like, if I buy this insurance, am I covered for this, for that, for that, for that? Am I getting value? What's the value? What coverage? What do I get for this money? And then when you use it, you find out that you're an exception. Oh, that leak that you have there, well, it's not covered because it's under, the leak came on the northwest corner and it wasn't on whatever. So I don't want to blame the insurance, I'm just giving an example for the fact that or the whole legal profession is about lowering the risk. Or health, prevention, which doesn't happen for the healthy people, myself included. I don't do active prevention. And then there is fun and image. The whole fashion industry, it's about fun, entertainment, the image, it's about image. The whole entertainment industry, Netflix and the shows and Cirque du Soleil, it's about fun, it's about entertainment. And then care about the environment. If you bring value by helping the environment, and I'm not talking not just the physical environment, can be also the social environment. So this is where you bring purpose, not just doing things. Come to my company because we do 10,000 whatever per square and we have the largest, yeah, but what's the purpose? I want to make a difference. And large companies like Microsoft or Apple, it's famous. Yeah, and I've been in Microsoft, I know firsthand, is that they really create in the culture of purpose. What you do changes the world. And I have to be honest, when after 7 years at Microsoft, I received from Bill Gates one little acknowledgement, and I saw for the first time the mission of the company, which was one PC in every family. And I was like, what? Is this the mission? It's so dry, and so where is the love? Where is the fluff? Where is the emotion? There is no. But then now, with the eyes of consultant and with the eye of architect in value, that was brilliant. Because if there is a PC in every family, guess what? The whole planet is digitalized. So it's revolutionized. It was the revolution. So the short of it is that these are like, I give you the 6: productivity, simplicity, convenience, risk, and so on. These are like the genes, like the primary genes for value, for utility. And this is how you should be thinking everything you do. If you say, we want to create a new product, why? What does this product bring utility-wise to the world? Well, I don't know, but we could do it. It's doomed from the start, because unless like the lottery, not everybody who plays the lottery loses. There is going to be someone who is going to win the lottery, but it's not a predictable or a given that that's going to happen. You know when a business, when an idea is the right idea, when there is a very accelerated growth, but accelerated profitable growth. Because it's not hard to accelerate growth. We just lower the price of Rolls-Royce to the price of a Logan. Guess what? It's going to be an accelerated growth, but not a profitable growth. They will go bankrupt. The whole planet will want to drive in Rolls-Royces, which is huge demand overnight, but it's not sustainable and it's not profitable. So when you have value for buyers and value for the business together, when you have accelerated profitable growth.